Welcome to Daily Fortune, where we talk about the latest topic about finance and investment. But before that, please don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload new videos. Now, let's get started. So this past few months, something big happened. Everything suddenly became expensive. Prices are going up and inflation persists. Copper, sugar, oil prices increased, and stocks and real estates are also up year over year. It seems like nothing is going to stop prices from rising. Before I continue this video, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be updated on our next videos. So let's first talk about this particular asset that has been in a large bubble, ready to burst at any time. This could affect the economy and also other asset classes. I'm sure you're already familiar with Cathie Wood. Yes, the CEO of ARK Invest, an American investment management firm. And she has been talking about this asset before. The pandemic has changed how consumers spend their money. They'd rather spend more on goods than services. Of course, given that we should stay inside and there is no work outside. Because of the pandemic, services were also forced to close or shut down. Over the last months, we have seen an unusual trend that turned into a large bubble. As Cathie said, services being forced to close pushed people to spend their money more on durable and non-durable goods. These goods only make up less than a third of all consumer spending. And you know the rest? The rest is all services. 1/3 of the consumer's budget goes to the items, but then the percentage of consumer spending increased to more than 40%. It hasn't been that high in the US, and she believes that people are creating their own inventory in their homes. It's not sustainable, and in a matter of months, spending in this area will go below 30%. Firms will then be left holding the bag due to the excessive inventory and the same amount of expected demand. The majority of people have purchased computers, air conditioners, and washing machines. Owning such items will not push them to buy another one because they can still be able to use them for a long time. Consumers' spending on services is rising, while consumers' spending on commodities is dropping. However, because consumers who spend on goods have not decreased that much, the prices for the goods have increased. And because some businesses have not been able to match those strong demands of people, they have placed massive orders for goods for their supply chains. As a result, the prices for raw materials could also increase. The price of raw materials is rising. Like lumber, it costs 4 times higher than what they are just in past years. The demand for consumer goods is starting to rise, and it's a big surprise to businesses who have struggled to meet the high demand. Now consumers spend more on services because of the ease of lockdowns. People could go outside now because most of us are already fully vaccinated. We're now free to eat outside, travel anywhere, go on vacations. But it'll all come together in the end, and the consequences will be devastating. Businesses are having a hard time catching up on inventory levels that are at an all-time low. This will result in losing revenue, and they will become more concerned about the situation. After that, the scramble still continues. The consumers focused more on services for the time being. Retail sales in April remained unchanged from the previous month. They were predicted to climb by 1%, but they had already increased by 10.7% in the earlier months. It was a pleasant surprise in comparison to expectations. The big issue here is that businesses that sell items have placed too many supply orders. So these companies will have to cancel vast quantities of their orders for the material required for their supply chains. This is because consumers already have stocks for goods, and now they spend more on services. The cancellation of purchasing goods will result in commodity prices falling, and it will affect stocks and real estate. Cathie's claims are backed up with data and current figures, so it is not just a mere speculation. Cathie explained that real consumption was slightly lower in April, while real goods consumption was down by 1.9%. This makes sense when you consider that real goods consumption increased by 74% in the preceding year. Consumption of durable goods increased by 74%, and now that the consumer has stored up both durable and non-durable goods, service spending has started. That month, they saw a 0.6 increase in service consumption. In this type of situation, commodities are rapidly decreasing. Businesses ordering enormous amounts of goods have fueled the commodity bubble. just like what I have said, the cancellations will result in commodity prices falling. Cathie Wood compared this to the cartoon Wile E. Coyote, which will fall on a cliff. Commodity prices have plunged drastically and are on the verge of failing. As an example, consider the cost of copper and lumber. Copper achieved a high of $4 before dropping 90 cents to $4.50. Lumber prices peaked at $1,711 and have since fallen to $1,200. That's a huge decline if we look at it very closely. It's now hovering around $1,300. You may be wondering how this will affect other asset classes. Assets that you may have invested in, such as stocks and real estate, given the commodity's price drop, are almost certain. The decline in commodity prices will have a deflationary effect because product prices would also fall. As a result, inflation will be lower than expected. Cathie is currently watching these investors' projections as bond yields decline, indicating that investors aren't as concerned about inflation as they appear to be. According to Cathie, one key indicator is beginning to confirm that this could be a little truer than the critics suggest. The yield on a 10-year Treasury bond has dropped from 1.75% to 1.55%, and we've seen higher than expected salary and inflation data today. Bond yields are decreasing despite this. As a result, current inflation indicators are higher than expected. On the other hand, bond yields are falling, indicating that investors expect inflation to be lower than expected as commodity prices decrease. The bond market provides hints about what's to come, so all investors should keep an eye on it. An inverted yield curve in the bond market, for example, preceded every recession. In fact, the bond market predicted increasing energy costs in 2006. In the short run, rising commodity prices and inflation have caused value stocks, such as energy and financial-related corporations, to appreciate dramatically. I'm sure you've seen that Tesla and other growth stocks have fallen in price. On the other hand, lower interest rates may benefit road stocks if commodity prices fall and inflation falls short of expectations. Furthermore, value-oriented firms have risen due to short-term recovery growth rates. When recovery spending slows, these value stocks will lose popularity in favor of faster-growing growth corporations. As Cathie pointed out, the bull market is still alive and strong, extending to value and cyclical industries, and it's expected to affect innovation-oriented activities. Cathie merely stated that these cyclical sectors are preparing for a slowdown, which should stimulate innovation based on the data they're observing. Today is an excellent opportunity to invest long-term, as Cathie also thinks this is a fantastic opportunity. So that's it for today. I hope you learned something from today's video, and to get updated with the next videos, please don't forget to hit the notification bell. See you next time!